Hello everyone, back into today's first video. We're going to have a look at the next 10 to 14 days for today's first video. Day 10 will take us to around the 6th of August. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECL ensembles running to around a couple of weeks. And we're going to have a look at CFSV2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. That will take us into the last stages of August. We've got our latest update for the United States coming up later on this afternoon, so watch out for that if you want to see what's happening in America. Right, but we're going to start off in the tropical Atlantic. So yes, we've got the remains of Hurricane Hannah now in the middle of Mexico. So this is from National Hurricane Center, of course. That's the remains, what's left of Hurricane Hannah. Just there. It's now a tropical depression. It's Tropical Depression Hannah, giving maximum sustained winds of 25 miles per hour. And moving very slowly now. It has slowed up a lot, moving westward at around 5 miles per hour. If we go into the Central Pacific, we've also got Category 1 Hurricane Douglas affecting Hawaii just here. So there's a hurricane over in the Pacific. And then coming back to the Atlantic, we've got this disturbance area that we've been looking at for a few days now. This disturbance area just here, this red X. So that is disturbance 1 with an 80% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours and a 90% chance in the next 5 days. Very highly likely that this will become our next named storm. National Hurricane Center saying shower activity associated with a broad area of low pressure located a little more than 1,000 miles east of the Windward Islands has become a little less organized since last night. However, environmental conditions are still expected to become more favorable for development in the next day or two, and a tropical depression or tropical storm is likely to form within the next couple of days. The system is forecast to move westward to west-northwestward at 15 to 20 miles per hour and could affect portions of the Lesser Antilles on Wednesday or Wednesday night. Interest on those islands should continue to monitor the progress of this system. So it's going to be moving in this sort of direction. It looks like it'll be picking up energy as it does so. And yes, it's probably going to become Tropical Storm Isaiah, I think, or Isaias over the next day or so. We'll be hearing more about this in the coming days. So yes, we'll continue to monitor that system, of course. And more about that in our USA forecast later on this afternoon. Right, another cool day out there in the UK across Ireland today again. So these are our latest temperature observations at XC Weather. We have got 22 degrees, but it's down in the Channel. It's at Le Havre across northern parts of France. Generally, temperatures are under 20 degrees in most parts of the country. For example, Luton Airport is only at 17. Headcorn Aerodrome is at just 19. Langdon Bay is at 18. Bournemouth only at 17 degrees, Yeovilton at 18, Northwick is at 17 going northwards. We've got Birmingham just at 16, Shawbury at 17, Lake Vyrnwy at 15. These are very poor temperatures again. Senny Bridge is at 16, so kind of mid to upper teens across many parts of England and Wales. Gets even cooler than that going further north. Lincoln on Ouse is at just 16, Newcastle is at 15. Sped Adam is at just 14 degrees, unfortunately. Shap at only 14 degrees as well. Belfast at 15 going northward still. Glasgow at 14. Aboyne at just 12 degrees. And Tulloch Bridge at only 11 degrees. Atrocious, absolutely atrocious temperatures for what would normally be like the dog days of summer now, the last week of July, first week of August. Sort of that is like the high point of the summer historically, but not today. Aviemore at just 11 and Oughara is at 15. So these are very, very poor temperatures again. There's quite a bit of rain and cloud across the country too. Just a rather autumnal sort of day. These are more like the sort of temperatures you would expect in a late September or early October afternoon, really. And with the cloud and rain as well. It is pretty autumnal out there. It's not great. And so the central temperature is still struggling. The CET currently for July, provisional to yesterday, the 26th of July, standing at 15.7. It's an anomaly of 0.3 of a degree below average. And I think we'll probably see that ticking down actually a little bit more over the next couple of days. That'll probably go back down to around 15.5. Now, we are going to get a very warm final day of the month. We're going to get quite a hot final day of the month on Friday. Summer will be back. It's only like a 1 or 2 day wonder, and then it's gone again. But summer does come back on Friday. That will lift the CT up a little bit at the end of the month, of course. But I think it's still going to come in below average. The 61 to 1990 CT average for July is 16.0. I think it'll be under that. And we're definitely going to be under the 81 to 2010 CT average for July, which is actually 16.5. We will be quite significantly under that, and I think we'll come out under 16.0 as well. I would anticipate probably with downwards corrections we'll finish up somewhere close to around 15.5 to like 15.7, something like that, something in that area. So mid 15s is where I would anticipate we'll finish, not too far from where we are right now, which will be slightly below the 61 to 1990 average. A cooler of an average month than the first time that's happened this year, of course. Right, so these are the 500 millibar high anomaly flow charts from Penn State University for the next week to 10 days, with the ECMWF on the top and the GFS, which we will have a look at in a moment, on the bottom. So 500 millibars is an area in the actual high pressure, low pressure. I've been moved around by the jet stream. Red extrapolates high pressure, blue extrapolating to low pressure. So the ECM looks quite unsettled, doesn't it, in the 7 to 10 day time frame. It gets us towards the end of the first week of August now. Looks quite unsettled, below average heights again. To the north of the country, bringing in like a westerly flow from off the Atlantic, and so yeah, it just looks rather changeable, rather unsettled, certainly showery, and probably not all that warm either, probably a little bit on the cool side, if anything, as the air I would have thought is coming in from the North Atlantic. The GFS is similar, but it's actually more unsettled. Look at this, deep trough of low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic with the GFS in the 7 to 10 day time frame. And so yeah, that just looks cool and unsettled and low pressure dominated. We're on the cool side of the jet stream with that as well. So both the GFS and the ECM are painting an unsettled picture today, an unsettled picture being painted here for the 7 to 10 day time frame. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're at Rochester, in the northwest of England today. The red line, of course, is the 30-year upper air temperature average, and we're quite close to average right now. But we are going to see the temperature falling away a little bit, actually, as we go through the next couple of days. So it will be turning rather cooler over the next few days. We can clearly see that the upper air temperatures are really going to start to lift up as we go through into second half of the week. So it becomes much hotter there with the upper air temperatures as we go into the end of the week. So around, I mean, it's very brief, around Thursday and Friday, we just see the temperature really shooting up. It's over within a couple of days, and we fall back again. That's a proper old heat spike for Rochester, with the temperature going quite close to 20 degrees at 850 HPA. Some of these ensembles do actually get temperature to 20 degrees at 850 HPA. I mean, bear in mind, this is for the far southeast of England. This is for Kent. So, and I think I might have said Rochester is in the northwest of England a minute ago, but of course that's wrong. Rochester's down in the southeast. So yeah, we see a temperature really shooting up there as we go through to the end of the week. It does become very hot with the upper air temperatures, but it's so brief that I'm not sure how warm it will actually get on the surface, because although upper air temperature might be shooting up 20 degrees down on the surface, it does take a day or two really to really warm the surface up a lot. I think we'll certainly get to 30 degrees. I think we're going to get 30 degrees on Friday, and probably 32 is achievable with this 90 Fahrenheit down in the southeast, but it is over very quickly, and then the temperature sort of falls away over the weekend and into next week, it's back to sort of normal services resume type weather, with the temperatures then becoming quite cool again. Precipitation wise, once today's rain is out of the way, there's a lot of dry weather coming up through the rest of this week really, but at the end of the week and into the weekend it starts to turn more showery. Those showery conditions then continue into next week. Of course, this precipitation spike just here has been associated with the peak in temperature and then the fall, so that might be thundery stuff on Friday and into Saturday, but after that we're just back to generally cool and showery conditions really as we go through the weekend and into next week. Temperature anomalies on the 27th of July to the 4th of August are close to average, so not a particular big deviation either way. And precipitation anomalies from the 27th of July to the 4th of August, again, are close to average. So not a great deal happening from a temperature and rainfall anomaly in the next week, really. Means how the upper level winds are looking with earthnullschool.net. So we're under low pressure today. We're under an area of low pressure. Here it is, trough of low pressure centered over the country. And in come those westerly winds as well from off the Atlantic. There's more low pressure in the Atlantic as well, just here and just here. However, those areas of low pressure are going to stay in the Atlantic. Really. Once this low that we're currently under moves out of the way, then we will start to get more ridging from a ridge of high pressure that is actually through here. We've got high pressure through here, extends back to the Azores high just there, and that's going to be pushing our way as we go through the rest of this week. But for today, it is a very unsettled scene across the country. This is how the UK Met is looking for Thursday then. So on Thursday we are building up this ridge of high pressure from the southwest. It's turning drier and warmer for the second half of the week. Friday, a nice area of high pressure through the country, a little bit to the east. Winds are pulling up from the south, so very warm air being pushed up from the south. That lasting to some degree into Saturday, 1st of August, but by Saturday there is a suggestion of a trough moving in from off the Atlantic, might trigger some thunder. It's all over by Sunday. This is as far as we go with the UK Met, and by then the warm interlude is all over. I won't say it's a warm spell because it doesn't last long enough to say it's a warm spell, but the warmer interlude is all over by Sunday, and we're back into those cooler west-northwest winds again. This is the GFS 6 o'clock run, the 6Z. So again, high pressure is over to the east of the country, lots of dry and very warm weather on Thursday. Friday, again, the high pressure centres somewhere towards northern Germany. That's allowing these very warm to hot southerly winds to bring the air up out of the Mediterranean. There's the upper air temperatures really lifting up very quickly with this plume of hot air. So by the end of Friday, we've got the 15 Celsius isotherm covering much of England away. 20 Celsius isotherm is in the Channel, so we are very close to quite an extreme burst of heat actually. But by sort of Saturday morning, we've got a trough coming in off the Atlantic. It might trigger some thunder, but it is going to be pushing away all of that heat as we go through the weekend. And by Sunday, it's all over. We're back into those cooler northwesterly winds. I mean, as we run up towards day 10, it turns increasingly unsettled really. Low pressure just developing quite close to the country. We saw it on the 500 millibar high anomaly flow chart, with showers or longer spells of rain and significantly cooler temperatures as well as we get to day 10, which is the 6th of August. And beyond that, into more extended range, this 6 o'clock run of the GFS keeps things pretty unsettled until the very end of it. By Wednesday the 12th of August, we then are starting to build up a little bit of a ridge from the southwest. But overall, that's quite an unsettled GFS run today. And the GEM looking like this again, a ridge building on Thursday, settling the weather down, turning very warm to hot in the south on Friday, but by Saturday and into Sunday, a trough has moved in from off the Atlantic, cools down the temperature, maybe triggers some thunder, but cools the temperature down, and we go cooler and fresher over the weekend. Into next week, this is Monday next week, low pressure then moving in off the Atlantic, and we just go into quite an unsettled spell as we move up towards day 10, particularly for more northern and western parts of the country. And the ECMWF is looking like this again, a ridge building on Thursday, sends us into a much warmer to hotter day on Friday. Then that ridge slips away to the east on Saturday, thundery low perhaps coming coming in off the Atlantic. There's the upper air temperatures, though, for midnight on Saturday. They do look very warm to heart. But it's all over by Sunday. Midnight Sunday, we're back into cooler, fresher westerly winds once again. Upper air temperatures lowering very quickly and quite significantly. And then moving up towards day 10, the ECM also looking quite unsettled, as we saw on the 500 millibar high company flow chart, Penn State University, with low pressure bringing further showers, if not some longer spells of rain. This is a rainfall forecast based on that ECM run from temexio.com, so showers or longer spells of rain ruling the roost at the moment. Tomorrow, though, we start to go into drier conditions. A few showers around northwestern coast, but most places looking dry. Really dry weather then takes over away from the northwest of Scotland through the rest of the week. Winds, of course, turning to the south, so it becomes significantly hotter up to the weekend. This gets us into Saturday, 1st of August. Then we start to cool things down, but not really a suggestion of much in way of thunder. With the cool down, actually very disappointing there from a thundery perspective. It just gradually cools down during the course of Saturday. By Sunday and into next week, we start to bring low pressure in off the Atlantic. That's bringing showers with it, and we start to turn increasingly unsettled as we move up towards day 10. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. Gets us to the 6th of August. Have 25 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure over and to west of the country, bringing in a west to southwesterly wind. That obviously is going to be unsettled. The low pressure is right over top of the country with that one, so very unsettled. 15 just here again with low pressure over the country. That's bringing quite a lot of unsettled weather at day 10 too. And then 11, which does include the operational run, just having a little bit more influence from high pressure to the southwest with slightly weaker low pressure to the north. Still a bit changeable, but for the south maybe rather dry. However, the operational ECM not all that well supported by its ensembles today. Actually, most of the ECM ensembles are looking more unsettled at day 10 than the ECM operational run is. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. It gets us to the 11th of August. Have 16 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to the south and west. Low pressure is to the north. Jet stream and flow doing something a little bit like that. So it could be just starting to settle things down a little bit there in 2 weeks' time. 12 with low pressure more or less over country. They're still going to be unsettled, of course. 9 just here having a large ridge over country, a large area of high pressure. So that's all change by the 11th of August. Much drier and much warmer with that one. 9 down here with again a ridge over country. That's going to be quite dry and warm. And then 5 with high pressure out to the west and low pressure to the east. Could be a bit cool and showery with that option. So the hints are still there, but by the second week of August, we might start to move towards some high pressure. Finally, with CFSV2, these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first weekly period will take us from the 27th of July to the 2nd of August. The coming week with above average heights to the south and below average heights to the north. Winds are coming in from the west. So starting unsettled and then high pressure building from the Azores, sending us briefly very warm at the end of the week. Week 2 is the 3rd to the 9th of August. Trough of low pressure went to our east, high pressure out to the west, connecting back to significant northern blocking, by the way, up here. That's going to be cool and unsettled. That's going to be cool and unsettled there. Then we go through to week 3, and this one is the 10th to the 16th of August, with above average heights out to the northwest. So bringing in winds from an east-northeast direction could be a little bit on the cool side with that, but perhaps a little bit more unsettled. And then week 4 is the 17th to 23rd of August. High pressure main to the east, low pressure to the west. That might draw up the winds from the south, so it could turn quite a lot hotter, but could be volatile, maybe triggering some thunder. Temperature anomalies for week 1, the 27th of July to 2nd of August, are cooler than average. Week 2 temperature anomalies from the 3rd to the 9th of August, also significantly below average. Week 3 temperature anomalies from the 10th to the 16th of August, they're below average as well. And then week 4 is the 17th to the 23rd of August, goes a little bit above average, slightly warmer there into the 3rd week of August. Rainfall anomalies finally, week 1, rainfall anomaly from the 27th of July to the 2nd of August is basically wetter than average for the north anyway. Week 2 is the 3rd to the 9th of August, that one is near normal. Week 3 is the 10th to the 16th of August, and the rainfall anomaly then is drier than average, particularly for the north. And then finally, week 4 is going to be the 17th, 23rd of August, and that one is close to average, to maybe a little bit more unsettled, actually. Looks very mixed and changeable, you know, like a continuation of what we've had all summer, really. Yes, we are going to get this push up in the temperature at the end of the week. It's very brief, but it will get temperatures to 30 degrees on Friday, I think, and possibly lasting into Saturday as well. Depends how quickly that front comes across the country Friday to Saturday. It looks like it's going to be quite a quick push of cooler air, actually, so by Saturday it could be all over, but definitely by Friday, for Friday we are going to have a hotter day, and then we're just going back into cooler changeable conditions really as we go through the weekend and on into next week. Weather becomes cool and changeable once again, as we have had all the way through the summer. There are hints and suggestions that by the second week of August we might find our way back to some higher pressure. Only hints at the moment, though, and yeah, so it's a changeable outlook, but with this brief burst of heat, one day wonder on Friday. We'll be back later on with our USA update tomorrow. We're going to have another 10 to 14 day video, of course, and we'll have a look at the ECMWF 30-day look at temperature and rainfall anomalies for the next 4 weeks for the UK and for the rest of Europe as well. That will be coming up as the first video up tomorrow. For this video, though, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.